Hi, this is Marjorie Bancroft. Welcome to InterpreTIPS, your chance to get any answers you want to questions about interpreting. Today's question comes from a freelance medical interpreter, and it's quite a question. What if the interpreter noticed the medical staff is not wearing gloves at the time of touching or examining the patient? Should the interpreter say anything or keep it to herself? This is a very tricky and delicate question. It falls roughly into the area that we call advocacy. Here's what we teach about advocacy in our program, The Community Interpreter. First of all, what is advocacy? Advocacy is action that you take on behalf of an individual, in this case the person who needs interpreting, if you see that that person's safety, health, well-being, or human dignity is at risk or compromised in some serious way. It's a very serious decision. So as a general rule, whether you would take this action if the person need no interpreter at all. Now in this particular case, the patient's safety was clearly at risk. So what do you do about it? The simplest and safest way to engage in advocacy if you have not received specialized training is simply to report it to the appropriate person as a critical incident, which this clearly is. Now that answer actually falls into two parts. If you, the interpreter, are a bilingual staff member who has another job but does perform interpreting as one part of that job, or you are a staff interpreter at the hospital, either way you typically know that there's a person that you should report critical incidents to and who that person is. That's what you should do. Report to that person. However, this question came from a freelance medical interpreter. If you are a freelance interpreter, you should not report this to the hospital. The reason is that the interpreter service or language company that sent you has legal liability for your conduct. Therefore, the appropriate course of conduct, if you feel the need to report this, would be to report it being very careful, of course, not to compromise patient confidentiality to your point of contact at the interpreter service or language company that sent you. Hope you find the answer useful. Thanks so much for listening, and if you did enjoy this InterpreTIPS, please feel free to subscribe to our InterpreTIPS YouTube channel. Meantime, take care.